Thanks for the support as a channel member, Andreas from Sweden. Don't really know what to talk to you about in this little intro bit now. No, I can't try and sell you football shirts. Does anyone want to buy a pen? Got mugs. Hope you all got one if you wanted one. Hello and welcome to part 35 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you, believe it or not. We're away against Solihull in the league and also away against Brackley in the Fat Cup. Since you were last with me, I think this is the world famous Kev trademarked getting excited about a cup run, so we're going to ruin the league situation, because we had a fantastic February, won every game, but did get ourselves through to the quarterfinals of the Fat Cup. And because of that, we've lost every league game in March so far, which means we've gone from being potential title challengers not so long ago to, yeah, there's not a chance we're going up automatically. And in fact, we're not even going to finish in the top two for the favourable playoff spots. And in actual fact, if we carry on playing as poorly as we are, we might slip out of the playoffs altogether. Context-wise, let's remember that's fine. We're supposed to finish mid-table this year. And I think if we were to finish 9th and win the FA trophy, that's not a disaster for a first league at this level. For a first year at this level. But obviously, we'd like to get promoted, because getting promoted is fun. And you got to think that the likes of Matthew Bond, he's probably already thinking, I ain't doing another year in non-league. In fact, to be fair, last time I looked, he was considered a leading player for most League Two sides, but he's now dropped down to just being a good player for National League sides, probably because of form. I mean, his form early on was spectacular. Now, not so much. In the last 20 games he's played, in actual fact, he's got, 8 goals? I mean, 8 goals in 20 games is still not a disaster, but he's not the goal a game form that he was in earlier in the year. And Jacob Quinn is closing in on him as top scorer, both for the club and in the league. So we might have to look to give Morley a bit more game time. Maybe even at the expense of Bond, which seems like a crazy thing to do, but maybe that's what we have to. We're struggling at the moment in the league. So if we lose again today, we do need to mix things up. It might even be time to finally abandon this pesky 4-4-2 that we all know I hate so much. But for maybe one last time, we're going with it. We've got Anang in goal, a back four of Garrett, Wills, Dootson and White. Vince Cole, Pack, Cornell and Brennan as the midfield. And Quinn and Bond up front. You can see I'm already just throwing players at the team just to see if they're going to improve things. Brennan and Vince Cole as examples of that, of players that haven't really featured a lot this season, but the players who they're replacing are either picking up knocks or they're in poor form. So let's see if those guys can do a little bit better. Good luck, lads. Go with the underdogs. We're huge underdogs. Perhaps I should calmly say we're huge underdogs and just try and take a little bit of the pressure off. I don't really see how we're huge underdogs. Yes, we're away from home, but Solihull Moors are down in 8th place. We're in 5th place. We've got 2 games in hand on them. If anything, you would expect this to be a fairly even game. And with nearly 40 games of the season gone, yes, we're the newly promoted team, but I think it's pretty clear that on our day, we've got the ability to be a top 5 team at this level. There's Marcus Hole playing for them, though, on the left wing. I think he would be a big difference maker. I'd absolutely love to bring him back to the club. And I don't really know why he doesn't want to come when he's just hovering around at Solihull, who aren't even in a playoff spot. Vince Cole plays it back to Pack. Pack looking up, finds Cornell. There's Bond back to... I mean, they're just knocking it back and forth between each other. I can't keep up with the speed of their passing. Bond plays it into Quinn. Lovely little pass. Lovely little finish. 26th goal of the season for Jacob Quinn and an assist for Bond. Puts us 1-0 up. 5 minutes on the clock. What poor form. Exactly. Bourne are back, boys and girls. And it's good to see the key players of the season so far all kind of combining for the goal. Pack, Bond, Quinn, all getting involved in the build-up to this one, and Quinn wasn't ever going to miss from there. We're certainly going to miss him next year. I'm almost certain there's no way Sheffield Wednesday let us have him on loan for another season, because he's clearly good enough to not necessarily get into their team in the Championship yet, But if you're Sheffield Wednesday manager, you're looking at his performance this year in the National League and thinking he's got to be playing League 2, maybe even League 1 football next year, just to allow him to keep making those steps up. That's going to help him eventually. Surely the goal is eventually become a championship player for Sheffield Wednesday. So, yeah, I think we're probably, the only hope we've got of keeping Jacob Quinn is if we get promoted. But even if we do get promoted, we're almost certainly going to be relegation favourites, and Sheffield Wednesday will probably look at that and think he could do better. He could go to a club where he's going to get more goal scoring opportunities, even though he's settled in here, knows his way around here, knows he can play well as part of our system. You'd rather put him in a team that's going to be pushing for promotion, where he's going to get the opportunity to score loads of goals, which he won't necessarily get for us. Pack with a corner now, 15 minutes on the clock, in swinging corner. It's cleared, but only as far as Dootson, who suddenly remembered he's a centre back and just let the ball go out of play, seemingly. Which, I mean, I can't complain too much. I don't really know why he's the man chasing it in that situation. I seem to complain about it a lot. I probably do need at some point to set up some set piece instructions for this 4-4-2, because I haven't. It's just the standard ones on there, and it is weird the way it seems to have the centre backs lurking on the edge of the area. So when the ball is cleared, they're the ones who are chasing back for it, whereas I would put the centre backs as the ones who are in there challenging the goalkeeper, because usually they're the big lads. Although I guess we've got a couple of big lads up front as well. Vince Cole is in behind here looking for the cross, finds Quinn, and I mean, that had goal written all over it. That's hit the inside of the post. If it had been a millimetre more to the right, it would be 2-0, and we'd be bringing Marcus Hull home with us, because he'd realised the error of his ways and want to come and play for Bourne again. But 'twas not to be, and for now he's still a Solihull player. Pack with a beautiful pass over the top for Bond, and Bond scores, and it's number 28 of the season for him. We have some strikers here at Bourne, everybody, and clearly they were both listening pre-match when I was threatening to give John Morley a run in the team, and have decided they don't like him and they just want to carry on scoring all the goals themselves and hogging all the glory. But Marlon Pack, he shows off for you lot, because if you look at his stats, he still doesn't have that many assists for the season. But it seems every time I'm recording a video, he's creating goals. In fact, let's have a little look. Marlon Pack has, I mean, I guess 13 assists is quite a lot. But I feel like you've seen 10 of them, and you've probably only seen him play six or seven games. So what's he done in the other 30 games? Only got another 3 or 4 assists. He definitely plays better when you lot are watching. He's a big game player who saves his performances for when he knows the cameras are on. Right, 2-0 up. We are looking good. Here is Hull, though, for them with the set piece. We know Marcus Hull can hit a set piece. Not quite to Pack standards, but I mean, look at that. That's like I'm being punished from my own past there. Hull with the assist. Taylor Crossdale with the goal. It's a former Bourne star and a former non-league to legend star combining to just spoil my morning. Which, I know you're watching this in the evening. This isn't live, believe it or not. I record these in the morning. And my morning's ruined now. I'm just going to give up and go and have my lunch. Now I'll have crisps for lunch. If I hadn't have conceded that goal, I might have had fruit. But now I need crisps to make myself feel better. That goal is contributing towards my obesity, and I don't care for it. Right, Vince Cole wins the ball back in midfield and starts a counter-attack at pace. He is charging through here. Don't shoot, though. You've got the 2 best strikers in the league in the middle, and you're shooting. Why are you not just getting yourself an assist, slot it into their path, and celebrate the goal? Ridiculous. Let's take Vince Cole off, because that upset me, what he just did there. We don't really have much in the way of other substitute options. We've got Morley, but both strikers are playing well. I don't necessarily want to change up anywhere else. I guess we could take off Garrett and bring on Greenwood, but it's not... It's a bit of a nothing change, isn't it? It doesn't really do anything. But then I guess we are winning, so... Maybe we don't need to do anything. We just need to freshen things up a little bit. Mitchell heads forward to Quinn, who controlled the ball so well it made the game glitch for a second. And then there's a ball over the top for Bond to chase. That must have been Pack who hit that. Of course, it was Marlon Pack who hit that pass. It's another stunning assist and another solid goal. And I wish he did this every match. Marlon Pack is ridiculous. Look how far back he hits that pass from. It's absolutely superb. I don't know that I've ever had a midfielder like him. David Noble at Boston, I guess. Was it Boston or St Albans we had David? I think it might have been St Albans, actually. David Noble at St Albans last year was, I guess, roughly equivalent, but I don't think he did it as well as Pack. There's another free kick from Pack. This one, not quite as effective, but I don't think I've ever had, even like playing at the top of the Premier League and stuff, a player who looks this good compared to everyone else around him. He is playing on another level, and there's another stunning pass from Pack, and he deserves a hat-trick of assists today, and he doesn't quite have one yet, but he'll get one because these two up front are in form. We're going to take Quinn off, bring Morley on for the last 10 minutes or so, just really to give Morley more game time. We want Morley to force his way into this team because he is ours and Quinn is Sheffield Wednesday's, and they're the same age, and we should probably be focusing on our own man, especially now automatic promotion is gone. If we're comfortable in the playoffs and just kind of waiting for them to happen, then Morley needs to be getting more game time. Yes, of course, we use Quinn and Bond for the playoffs themselves to give ourselves the best chance, but on the way there, we need to be giving Morley some game time to let him prove that we can show faith in him next year and go with this front too, Bond and Morley as our strikers for next year when Quinn goes back to his parent club. Comfortable away win in the end, thanks to Marlon Pack. Excellent work from him. And now we go to Brackley and try and book our spot in the semi-finals of the Fat Cup. In case there was any doubt why York are running away with the league, by the way, we just had this pop up. York have spent £500,000 on players this year. And it's not as if they've just been relegated. They've been in the National League for years. Why have they suddenly... They must have had a takeover. To be able to just go out and spend £450,000. How do I... Landmarks. No obvious takeover. So... presumably they've sold someone in the past and got a big sell-on fee somehow from somebody. But I can't work out record. I want to know. I want to know where they got £500,000 from. So highest transfer fee received is still Jonathan Greening. It makes no sense. How? How did that come to pass? Right, we've swapped our wingers back around for the Brackley game. Williams is still injured, so Spencer comes in on the right wing, Mitchell on the left wing, Mundell coming back in for Cornell in central midfield as well. And Brackley are down in 16th place in the league. So I would like to think this is going to be a good opportunity for us to book ourselves into what I think is the first semi-final of anything in the club's history. I don't remember us winning any of the cups on the way up. I'm sure someone will tell me I'm wrong. We probably have won cups and I've just forgotten about them. There might have been like a cup down when we were in tier 10 or something that we won. In fact, thinking back, I think there was, and I think it had a silly name and I don't remember it now. I'm sure one of you lot will tell me all about it though. Pack with the free kick and very nearly continuing his run of ridiculous assists in televised matches. We're on the telly. Hands up if you're watching on the telly. Well, if anyone is watching this on their TV, which surely somebody is, it's a televised match. So Marlon Pack plays up for the TV cameras, and we're not really getting a hold of this game so far, are we? Come on, gentlemen. In fact, an early 10 minutes of passion, just to try and get some highlights flowing. We don't seem to have anything happening at all here at the moment. We've had that one early goalmouth scramble, but since then, nothing. It's like we are a little bit afraid. We're not really. I'm not that bothered about the FA Trophy. Is it a big deal if you're down at this level? Is the final... I mean, if the final's at Wembley, I guess that makes it a big deal. I don't know if it is, though. I've never actually looked. Garrett, coming down the left-hand side, tries to play the ball over towards Bond. It's a pretty poor cross-come-pass type thing. And Brackley get the ball back, and we're giving them a lot of space in midfield. Obviously, Pack playing 2 games in 4 days is a problem at his age. We don't normally do this, but he likes to show off for you lot, and he played so well in the last game, it would have felt wrong to just drop him. But he is going to be tiring fairly quickly in there today, I imagine. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll be fine. Pack not tiring as much as Mitchell is. What is going on with Mitchell? He doesn't have an injury, but he's broken. We've broken Mitchell. We might need to bring Vince Cole on, and by might, I mean we're definitely going to have to bring Vince Cole on that left-hand side. His time out of the team for what he did in the last game lasted a long while, didn't it? Right, we're going to go positive. We don't want to have to go to replays or extra time or any nonsense like that. Looks like it's not going to be an issue because it's 1-0 to Brackley, and our run in the Fat Cup might be over, which is going to be devastating to the 19 Bourne fans. That's more than a mini. Is it more than a minibus? How many people do you fit in a minibus? We might have half filled a standard size coach for this game. We're getting to the point where we'll struggle to put all the fans and the players all on the same coach to come to away games, which is a big deal. I know I've been trying to push Morley, but I think the situation does dictate Luke Plange just to see if he's got any heroics left in him, and we are going to take off Pack and bring on Cornell as well, just because we don't want to break the man, and I'd rather he was fit for the league, because I think the league is more important. As much as a day out at Wembley, if it is Wembley, and a cup win and all that kind of stuff is good fun, in the interest of keeping our good young players, promotion is more important. So let's not break Pack in what is inevitably, I would suggest, going to be his final season. Anang now plays the ball forward, looking for a blue shirt, finds, I think, Quinn with the flick on. Vince Cole plays it into Bond. Bond is there, and Bond should have finished that. Of course, it's not Quinn, it was Plange with the flick on because Quinn's gone off. That explains why he was so good in the air, because we all know Luke Plange, aerial hero. Attacking now with 10 minutes to go, and we're going to get creative, and I don't really know what else to do. We could push the wingers forward, I guess, but whenever we do that, the midfield just immediately becomes overrun. Spencer plays it forward to Bond. Bond is in, but surely offside, and Plange not quite quick enough to just eat the scraps. Eat those scraps. Morley would have done. Morley would have scored there, I think. He's a very different kind of striker to Plange, but you know, we've got a hope for Plange to do one more moment of heroics, because I think this is probably Luke Plange's final season with us. It's very clear he's not quite good enough for this level, which is a bit of a shame because he's been with us a while and has been a hero. But there's no room for sentimentality when you've got no money, and we might just have to move Plange on. But it would be nice for him to have one final moment of heroics. White with the cross. Bond is there. Oh, it's offside. I'm questioning this one. Give me the little telly. Why do we not have the little telly at this level? I don't think he's offside there. But of course, we don't get to check because we have no VAR in non-league, and we have been knocked out of the Fat Cup unjustly. I think I do feel a little hard done by, but I guess what it does is allows us to focus on the league, which is the important thing, and we will now charge all the way through to the last couple of games of the season, depending, of course, on what happens. If it looks like we can qualify for stuff before then, we'll come back a little sooner. We'll probably do Swindon and Maidenhead, and then fingers crossed the day after will be yet more playoffs, because it's all we ever seem to do on this channel. Playoffs, playoffs, playoffs. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.